What is dictionary in Python? Dictionary is a built-in data type that lets us to store the values in key value format in a single variable. A dictionary is a collection which is ordered, changeable, and do not allow duplicate keys. Ordered means the sequence of the values upon accessing the dictionary variable will be same as that of the sequence of insertion of the values in it. By default, dictionary is ordered in Python version 3.7 and later versions. Before 3.7 version, the dictionary was unordered. Changeable means the values of the dictionary can be updated and key value pairs can be added in the existing dictionary. Duplicate keys are not allowed. A given key can appear in a dictionary only once. If we specify a key a second time during the initial creation of a dictionary, then the second occurrence will override the first. Dictionary is written with curly brackets containing key value pairs. We can access all the values or a particular value by using key. A dictionary key must be of a type that is immutable. For example, we can use an integer, float, string, or boolean as a dictionary key. However, neither a list nor another dictionary can serve as a dictionary key because lists and dictionaries are mutable. Values, on the other hand, can be any type and can be used more than once. Let's learn about dictionaries with some examples. So first we will learn how we can create a dictionary. So we can have a variable d1. We can write the curly braces. So this is the empty dictionary. So if I print type of d1, let's run this program. So here it prints it is of class dict. So the type is dict. So this is a dictionary. So dict represents dictionary. So this is one way. Another way is we can call the dict constructor. If I run this program, then also the type will be dict. So this is an empty dictionary. Let's print the empty dictionary and let's check how it prints. So it prints curly braces without any values because this is an empty dictionary. Now let's create a dictionary with some values. So for that there are two ways. Either we can use curly braces or we can use dict constructor. So let's first create with curly braces. So here I can write first name Shubhankar, that is my name, and last name as Sisodia. So here we can see we have two keys, first name and last name, and we have two values. So this is the value of this key and this is the value of this key. Let's try to print d1. Here we can see it prints first name, then its value, and then it prints last name and its value. Here we can see the ordered is maintained because of from Python 3.7 till later version, the dictionary is ordered dictionary. So here order is maintained. It's not of type ordered dictionary. So there's another type called ordered dictionary which preserve the order. So it was used before Python version 3.7 because in previous version this dictionary is unordered. But from 3.7, Python 3.7, this dictionary is ordered. So this is one way of creating a dictionary. Another way is we can use constructor dict, and then we need to pass the parameters. So we can pass as first name, second parameter is last name, and the value will be string. And then we need to close this function. Now let's print. So here we can see we got the required output. So this is the output. And if we try to print type of D1, it prints dictionary. So this is how we can create dictionaries in Python. Now there is one more property, that is duplicate keys are not allowed. So let's say we have our previous dictionary like this, and now if I add one more key, so how we can add one more key? We can use square bracket and then we can write the key name and then its value. Let's say XYZ. So here what we are doing is we are creating a duplicate key last name with some other value. Let's check whether now dictionary is having 3 key value pairs or it is having only 2. Here we can see it contains first name as Shubhankar and last name as XYZ. So it contains only 2 key value pairs. That means dictionary will contain only the unique keys, and the value of last name key is overridden now. Earlier it was this and now it is updated to this. So this is the property of dictionary. Now another thing is we can check the length of the dictionary. So if I call this length function, or we can save it in a variable, let's say len function, and then print length. This len function is used to identify the length of the list tuple, and now we are checking it with dictionary. Let's run this program. So here it prints 2. So basically it counts the total number of key value pairs present in dictionary. So that here we have only 2 key value pairs. So that's why it returns the integer 2. So this is all about creating a dictionary. Now let's check how we can access a dictionary. So we can first is we can directly use the variable D1. If I print D1, it will print all the dictionaries. So that we have already seen. And second is, if I want to access a particular key value pair, we can use the key. So if I type first name, and this should be D1. So it prints the value of this key, first name. So Shubhankar is printed. And similarly, if I write last name, it prints the value of last name key, which is Sisodia. So it prints Sisodia. So this is how we can access by using key. But what if I type some another key which is not present in the dictionary? Let's check that. So here we can see it raises error. It says key error XYZ, which means in dictionary D1 there is no key with name XYZ. So that's why it raises error. So now another way to overcome this exception, we have another way to access the dictionary, which is using get method. So we can use d1.get and the key name. So if I try first name, run this program, sorry. So here we can see it prints the value of first name key. And if I try to print XYZ, I mean the key which is not present in D1, then let's check what it prints. So it prints none. So basically this get method accepts the key value, I mean the key name, and it returns the value of this key if it is present in the dictionary, and if the key is not present in the dictionary, then it returns by default none value. So let's say we want to return some other value instead of none, so we can write other value, let's say the string other, or maybe any integer, let's say 5. So if XYZ is not present in D1, it will return 5. So this is first parameter is key and second parameter is default value. So let's run this program. So here it returns 5. Why? Because XYZ key is not present in D1. Now let's write first name again. So this get method will check if this key is present. So here it is present. So it will return Shubhankar. It will not return 5. It will return this default value only when this key, first name, is not present in the dictionary. If I run this program, it will print Shubhankar. It will not print 5. So this is about the get method. Now we know we can access the complete dictionary with the variable name, and we can access the particular value of a key with the key name with a square bracket or by using get method. But what if I want to get all the keys? I want to know what all keys are present in my dictionary. For that, I can use, let's say, new variable is equals to d1 dot keys. So this is a variable name, and we can use dot keys method to get all the keys. Let's print keys. So here we get dict keys object which contains list, and in that list we have first name and last name. So first name and last name are our keys of this dictionary D1. So this dict keys object, it is an iterable. We can iterate using for loop and get one item one by one. I mean the items one by one, and we can print them as well. Or we can do the type conversion into list. So instead of here, I can write type conversion to list. Let's run. So now this dict keys is converted into list object. So therefore we have the square bracket here, and we have first name and last name. So this is how we can access all the keys of a dictionary. And what if I want to access the values? We can use values method similarly. If I run this program, we will be having all the values, the list of values, and in the same sequence. So this is how we can access keys and values separately. What if I want to iterate over this dictionary with both key value one by one? So for that, uh, so before that, we can, there's one more thing called items. I remove this list method. Let's check what it contains. So it contains dict items, and under that it contains list of tuples, and each tuple is a key value pair. So first value is key and second value is value. Here also first value of tuple is key and second value is value. If I convert it into list, we will be having list of tuple, and each tuple, first value will be the key, second value will be the value. So now we can use this d1.items and iterate with for loop, and we can get, or we can print the key value. So for key comma value in d1.items. So d1.items will be list of tuple key1 value 1, key2 value 2, and so on. So this is a comment, and this will be ignored by Python interpreter. So when this loop will start, so first time key will contain this key1 and value will contain the value v1. So in our case, we are using D1 dictionary. So first key value will be, so key will be first name and value will be Shubhankar. Let's print, and we can use string formatting. So this is a string, and in that we can use variable. Let's say key, arrow, under curly braces we can use variables. So firstly, key will be first name, value will be Shubhankar. So it will print first name arrow Shubhankar. Then control will come here again, and it will check for the next values, key 2 and value 2. So in our case, key 2 value is, key will be last name, value will be Sisodia. So it will print last name arrow Sisodia, and after that control will again come here and it will check whether there are more values or not. In our case, we don't have values, so it will exit from the loop. So it will print only 2 lines. So let's run this program. So here we have this key, and then arrow, and then we have value. So this is how we can iterate over the dictionary using d1.items and for loop. Now, if I want to check if any key is present in the dictionary or not, then how I can check? So let's say I want to check if last name is present in dictionary D1 or not. So I can check like this. If last name in D1 print key exists, else print key does not exist. We can use this the search string and using in operator and then the dictionary variable. So let's run this program. Here it prints key exists. Why? Because last name is present in this dictionary. What if I write let's say XYZ? If XYZ is in D, so it will print key does not exist because there is no key with name XYZ. So this is how we can access the dictionary. Now let's learn about how we can update a dictionary and add new values to it. This is our dictionary. I can add a new key value pair by simply using the dictionary variable, then square bracket, and then the new key name. Let's say uh, anything. Let's say age. I can type 32. And let's print D1. And after adding a new key value pair, so here we are adding a new key value pair, then again print D1. Let's run this program. So here we can see before updating we were having only uh, two values, I mean two key value pair, and after adding this age we've got three key value pairs. This is how we can add a new key value to the existing dictionary. Now, if I want to update any existing key, how I can update? So let's say I want to update last name. I can simply write last name equals to XYZ, then print D1. So here before updating it was this, and after updating it was XYZ. So this is how I have updated the existing key value pair. Now there is a inbuilt method called update. We can use that for I mean updating a existing key value pair or adding a new key value pair. So we can try with this example only. Instead of doing this, I can comment this and add d1 dot update. Then I need to add a dictionary. Okay. That dictionary will contain the key as last name and value as XYZ. Or we can have D2. Just to simplify the code, I have moved this dictionary to a new variable and I will use D2 here. So this code is equivalent to this commented code. Let's run this program. So here we can see the last name is updated to value XYZ because we have said like update D1, which is in memory update, with D2. So D2 contains last name and this last name is already present in D1. That's why the new value is updated to it. What if it contains another variable? Let's say ABC. So what will happen? Let's run this program. So here we can see the first name and last name values are same and we have another key value pair which is ABC and XYZ. So we are updating D1 with D2. So here ABC key is not present in D1. That's why it has added this key value pair in D1. So we have now 3 key value pairs in D1. So this is how we can use update method to update an existing key and adding a new key value pair. So another way of updating a dictionary is instead of calling update, instead of updating the D1 directly, we can create a new dictionary, let's say D3. So I will just remove this commented code. So we can have D3. I will remove this print statement and we can write a new dictionary with star D1 comma star D2. So here we are in this method, in this statement, we are creating a new dictionary which contains all the key values of dictionary D1 and all the key values of dictionary D2. If dictionary D2 contains a key which is already present in D1, then this value will be, the existing value will be override with the new value. So here we have this key which is not present in D1. So it will create a new dictionary with 3 key value pairs. So let's print D3. So here we have 3 key value pairs. And we can print D1 as well, D1 and D2, because they are not updated. So here we can see this is D1 and below is D2. So they are not updated because we have created a D3, a new dictionary. So I will now remove this. So let's say, let's run this program again so that we can know the output. Here we have 3 key value pairs and the last is ABC XYZ. Let's say I rename ABC with last name. What it will do? So here we have D1 and then we have D2. So it will first add these 2 key value pairs and then it will add this. So here last name is already present in D1. So it will update the old value Sisodia with new value XYZ. So we can see we have only 2 key value pairs and last name value as XYZ. What if I change the order? So So let's say D2 first and then D1. Let's run this program. So here we have last name as Sisodia and then first name as Shubhankar. So here we can see two things. First is the sequence of this key is changed. Earlier, the first key was first name and then second key was last name. But here we can see the first key is last name and second key is first name. Why? Because we have changed this sequence as well. So first, in the new dictionary, it will add all the key value pairs of D2. So first is last name. That's why last name is at first. And then it will add all the key value pairs of D1. Now it will add first name. So first name is added as Shubhankar. Then it will try to add last name. But last name is already there in D3 because of D2. So it will override this name and it will remove XYZ. So that's why we have, instead of XYZ, we have this. So this is how we can create a new dictionary from the existing dictionaries. So we have symbol, pipe symbol. We can use that as well. So if I use, let's say D3, then D1, D2. Let's run this program. Here we can see first name is Shubhankar and last name is XYZ. Why? So first of all, this is the pipe symbol or symbol, and it also creates a new dictionary with the using the key value pairs from these two dictionaries. First, it will add all the key value pairs of this left hand side dictionary, and then it will add the key value pairs of the right hand side dictionary in new dictionary. And the same logic will apply here also. If D2 contains any key which is already present in D1, then the value of D2 will be used and it will override the existing values. So here we have last name, and in D1 also we have last name. So D2, the value of last name is XYZ. It will override the existing value Sisodia. So here that's why we have last name as XYZ. But if we change the order like D2 here and D1 here, so first it will add the last name XYZ and then it will add all the key value pairs of D1. So here last name is Sisodia. So it will override this XYZ value and our first key will be last name and then um, sorry yeah, because last name is already added, so first key will be last name and then we have first name. So let's run this program. Here we have last name with value Sisodia with value of D1 because it overrides this value, and then we have first name. So and we have one more thing, let's say equals to operator. So what it will do, it will update the D2 itself. We don't require D3. So this is equivalent to D2 equals to D2 or D1. So basically we were using this D3 here, but now in as a short form we have used or equals to. So let's print D2. So here we have last name Sisodia and first name is Shubhankar. Why? Because D2 and then we are adding values of D1 in it. So D2 contains only last name. That's why we have first key value as last name, and then values of this will be added. So first name is added after last name, and then we got again the last name. So Sisodia will be, I mean, XYZ will be override with the this string. So that's why we don't have XYZ here. So this is equivalent to this code. So this is all about adding a new key and updating a existing key value pair in the dictionary. Now let's check how we can remove the items from the dictionary. What are the ways of removing the items from a dictionary? So we have this dictionary, and if I want to remove, let's say, first name, so how I can do this? So first method is, first way is we can use pop method, and another is we can use delete keyword. So let's check the first way. So I will write d1 dot pop key name, which is first name, and it returns the value of this key. So let's say value equals to d1 dot pop. Now print value and then print d1. Let's run this program. So here we got the value as Shubhankar, because we have popped out the this key value pair first name. So it returns the value. We have stored this value in the value variable and we have printed that value variable. So that's why the value is printed. And then we are printing the D1. So now D1 contains only a single key value pair, which is last name, because we have removed the first name. So this is how we can remove a key value pair. So using this pop method, and yeah, so the issue is with this method is, uh, let's say if I if I use any key which is not present in the dictionary, let's say XYZ, so it will raise the exception. Let's run this program. So here it says key error. Why? Because XYZ is not present in the dictionary. So in that case, we can use a default value, let's say none. So if XYZ is not present in dictionary D1, then return none and don't raise any exception. So here we can see the none is printed as a value because XYZ is not present. Let's say, instead of none, we can write any value. Let's say 5. If I run this program, it will return 5 and the same key, the dictionary D1, which is as it is. Now, what if I write first name? Since first name is already present in D1, so it will remove that key value pair and it will return the value of it in the value. It will not use the default value. Default value will be used only when this key is not present in D1. So if I remove first name, it will return value as Shubhankar and the dictionary is updated. That first name key value pair is removed. So this is how we can use pop method, and we can use default value to suppress the exception or the error message. Next way is to delete the item is, or to remove the item from the dictionary is, we can use del keyword. We can use del d1 of the key which we want to remove. Let's say first name. Then we can print d1 completely. So let's run this program. So here we have only last name because we have deleted the first name. So del d1 first name or del d1 key, this should be used only when we don't require the value of the key which we are removing, and uh, also if exception should be raised if the key is not present. So if I use xyz here, so xyz, I mean we can use any key which is not present in d1. So what will happen? It will raise error, key error. So this error is also raised while using the pop method, but in that we can suppress this error by using the default value. But here in this delete case, we cannot suppress this error. I mean, there's a way, but I mean, we can use try catch exception, but there's no default value for it. So another method is instead of removing a single key value pair or multiple key value pairs using for loop, if I want to delete all the key value pairs, we can either, I mean, either one option is I can use for loop, let's say for um, key in d1 dot keys. D1 dot keys will return all the keys, and then I can write d1 dot pop key, and then we can print d1. So dictionary change size during, okay, so it change size during, so we can have a list here. So when we iterate over a list of keys, so d1 dot keys will return a dict keys object, but if I typecasted it to list, it will create a copy and convert that into a list. So we are iterating over a list, I mean copy of list of keys. So because if we iterate over the dict keys object, then popping the key value pair will update the dictionary, and updating the dictionary while using this for loop with dict key value raises the exception. That's why we have used list. So list d1 dot keys will be having a list of first name and last name values. I mean list containing two values only or two string. So after this loop has run, we have removed all the key value pairs. So that's why d1 is empty. So instead of doing this, what we can do is we can use the inbuilt method. Which method? d1 dot clear. So this d1 is just a variable name. We can use any name, any other name also. So any dictionary variable dot clear method. So this clear method will remove all the key value pairs itself, and then we can print d1. So here we can see the d1 dictionary is empty. So this is how we can clear clear or remove all the key value pairs from the dictionary. Now let's check about nested dictionaries. So what are nested dictionaries? Nested dictionaries are a dictionary within a dictionary, and how we can access them. So let's say we have a dictionary called user. Dictionary will be with curly braces, and let's say we have a key value pair with name. I can say any name, or let's use this only. And then we have another key as address, and instead of, I mean the value, instead of value be used as a string, we can have another dictionary. with few more key value pairs. Let's say um, address line 1. We can have any string. Let's say line 1. Then we can have address line 2. And then we can have, let's say, pin code. So like this. So here we can see we have a dictionary, and in that we have another dictionary as a value for some key. So this is called nested dictionary. Dictionary in a dictionary. Now how to access it? So if I want to access this key value pair, I can use user of key, which is name. Okay. So here the name is printed. If I use user address, which is a another key, let's check what gets printed. So it prints the complete dictionary. Now let's say I want to access only address line 1. How we can do that? We can write user address. So user is a dictionary and I want to access the value of key address. I use a square bracket. Okay. So now user of address is a dictionary and I want to access the value of this address line 1 key. So how I can do that? I can use square bracket address line 1. So here we can see it prints line 1. So similarly, I can print pin code. Let's run this program. So here we can see we have got the pin code. So this uh, user is a dictionary variable, and to access the key value we used square bracket and then key name. And here also the user of address is itself a dictionary, this one, and I want to access address line 1, I will use again a square bracket and the key name. So this is how we can access the values of a nested dictionary. Now let's check, let's see how we can copy a dictionary. I will comment this code and I will add one more. Let's say 32. So now this dictionary contains only two key value pairs, name and age. Okay, let's print that. Here we can see name and age. Now I want to copy this user to another. Let's say user 2. Can I write like this? No. Why? Because this is not copying the value to a new variable. This is user 2 will refer to this value which user is referring. So basically in memory we have this dictionary and user variable is pointing to it. And now we have made another variable user2 or a reference which is also pointing to this memory location. So if I update user, let's say user of age equals to 50. Now first print user2, then update user, and then again print user2. So here we have only two print statements, and in both the print statements we are printing user2 dictionary only. So first we have assigned user dictionary to user2. We are printing it. So it will print name and age as it is. Then we are updating user dictionary, not user2, with age as 50. And then we are checking if user2 remains same or it also gets updated. Since both user2 and user variable are pointing to same memory location for the dictionary this, and through this user reference we have updated the value of 50. So if we print user2, then it will also show the age as 50. So here we can see before updating we print user2, so it prints age 32, which is the original. And then after updating with user variable, if we print user2, then the age of user2 also gets updated. That means the value is not copied, only we have created another reference to this dictionary. So how we can copy? We can copy using the inbuilt method copy. This is the dictionary variable, then dot copy, it will generate a copy of this value and it will assign to user2. So updating the user will not impact the value of user2. So let's run this program. So here we can see before updating it was 32, and after updating through user variable, so user variable the age is changed, but for user2 it remains 32. Why? Because we have created a copy of this dictionary. So now user is pointing to this memory location and user2 is pointing to the another memory location which contains the copy of this value. So if I print user in the last, so it will contain age as 50. Okay. I will remove this statement. Now, since user2 is unaffected, if we update the user age, I mean through user variable, I mean the first dictionary variable, but if it contains a nested dictionary, and let's say we have updated the pin code instead of age. Let's say 505050. Since we are using copy, so it should not get affected, but this will not happen in case of nested dictionary. So let's run this program. Our expectation is when we are printing user2, the pin code should remain 404040. But let's check if it is updated or not. So here there's a issue like user of pin code. So we have added a new key value pair in the user variable. So instead of we need to use address, user address, then pin code. Now let's run this program. So here we can see the pin code of user2 is also changed, but we are using copy. Then why it gets changed? Earlier, if I comment this code and comment this line and I update with user variable and I update age equals to 50, then user 2 is not affected. It always contains age 32. It is not affected by whatever the value we are updating in the first dictionary. But if I am updating the first dictionary and updating the nested dictionary, then why user 2 or the next dictionary is getting affected? Here we can see the pin code is changed for user 2. Why? Because this copy method creates the shallow copy of this user dictionary. And so there's a concept called shallow copy and deep copy. So shallow copy will be limited to the normal values only. But if we are using a list or dictionary, I mean as a nested, then it will not copy that as it is. It will use the address of it. So how we can remove this issue or solve this issue? We can use deep copy here. So instead of the inbuilt method deep copy, we can use deep copy. And where deep copy method is present, it presents in copy. So from copy, import deep copy. So there's a copy module. From that we have import deep copy package. So here we are now using deep copy. So it will copy this dictionary also, nested dictionary also. And now let's check the output. Now this 5050 should not get updated for user 2. Let's run this program. Here we can see now it's not getting updated. Pin code is not getting updated. This is how we remove this type of issues using deep copy. So this is all about the dictionary, Python dictionaries. Now let's learn about the built-in methods for dictionary. This is a list of built-in methods of dictionary. So we have covered all these methods like get, keys, values, clear, copy, then items, pop, and update method. So we have uh, already covered these methods. So next is from keys. So let's check what it is. It returns a dictionary with the specified keys and value. So we can use it like this: dict dot from keys. Then we can have a list of keys like maybe key 1, key 2, key 3, and we can pass this list, and then we need to pass a default value for all these keys. So let's say we have passed 3, and we will store this dictionary in a variable, let's say d1. Now let's print d1. So here we can see a new dictionary is created with key 1 as key, value as 3, then key 2 as key, value as 3, and key 3 as 3. So this is the value that will be assigned to all the uh, keys which is present in this list. We can create a dictionary using from keys. So next is we have pop item. it removes the last inserted key value pair. Let's check that. Let's say we have a dictionary D1, key as A, B, C. D1 dot pop item. So this is different from pop. So in pop, we have to specify the key which we need to remove from the dictionary, but in pop item, it will automatically removes the recent item that is inserted in the dictionary. So let's say let's check what it returns. It removes the last inserted key value pair. Let's say we have a variable pair. Let's print that and check. So here it returns a tuple with two values. First value is key and second value represents value. So it returns C and 3. Why? Because pop item uh, removes the most recent key pair which is added in the dictionary. So let's say after creating this dictionary, we added one more key value pair. Let's say D with value 4. And then we called this pop item method and let's check what it returns. So it returns D4. Why? Because this is the most recent key value pair which is added in the D1. Let's say after this I added E with value 5. So now it will pop E5. And after popping, let's check the D1 whether the key value pair is removed or not. So here we can see it contains only 4 key value pairs and this is the key value pair which is removed from the dictionary. So this is also covered. And the last is set default. It returns the value of the specified key. If the key does not exist, it insert the key with the specified value. So this is similar to get method because it returns the value of the specified key, and if the key does not exist, it returns by default none value, or if we specify the default value, it returns that default value. But here, if the key does not exist, it inserts the key with the specified value that we have provided. So that is the main difference. So let's check set default. So let's say we have this dictionary, and if I do d1 dot set default, then key is, let's say, D and value as, then print d1. So here we can see we have 4 key value pairs. So D and 4 is also there. Why? Because we have used set default. So what it does, and also let's check the value, what it returns. Print value. So here it returns 4. Why? Because it checks whether this key is present here or not. If it is not present, then add this key with value 4. So D4 is, key value pair is added in D1 and the value 4 is returned. So while printing the value, it prints 4, and while printing the D1, it prints all the 4 key value pairs. Now let's say instead of D, I type here as C. So now what it will do, this set default method will check whether this key is present or not. If this key is present in the dictionary, then return the value from the dictionary. So it will return 3 and D1 will contain A, B and C only. So here we can see it contains A, B and C, and this value 4 is not updated. Why? Because C is already present. But if we use any other variable or the other key which is not present in dictionary D1, then it creates this key value pair with the value 4, which is we have provided. So now we can see D4 is added. By this we have completed almost all the built-in methods of dictionary.